episode 2. Episode 2. I was going to do a review on a boost pedal. I shot the review, I went into editing, hated it, threw it out. We all know what boost pedals do. They boost the signal without adding distortion. Pretty simple thing there. In the interim of that whole thing, I was in the middle of a build, and I wanted to build a Les Paul. I wanted a lemon drop. From mostly parts that I had laying around. A lot of this stuff I had laying around. So my end wasn't that, close to 4 there. Anyway, I wanted to document the whole thing, and that way I could, do a video on the actual build, all the way to getting the fretwork done and trading work for that. But we'll get to that later. Whether it's a set neck, LP style, Stratocaster style, Telecaster style, there's a certain little satisfaction in building your own from the ground up, because everything that's going to go into it is something that you wanted to go into it. So if you're on a budget, you can find bodies and necks. GFS is one of the best places budget-wise to find all this stuff. And we'll jump in. GFS, that's where I found the body, Guitar Fetish. It was a blowout, and it had blemishes on it. There's a little glue here and a little delamming there. Nothing big, and nothing where it's actually seen either. Set neck, mahogany body. I think I got a shot of the top, where that top is like just over a ½ inch. It's not 3/4, but it's just over a ½ inch of actual maple solid. It's a heavy body. There's no weight relief in this, like a lot of the new Gibsons have that weight relief where they route those holes in the back, and no, none of that. This solid mahogany with a maple cap on it. The mahogany is 3-piece, I believe. The back is 3-piece, and it's not dead center, so it's not a big deal. It's still solid mahogany. The neck is mahogany, rosewood fretboard. The neck itself has the wedge joint up by the volute. That's where the keys start, which is kind of nice. The first time I ever seen that was on an Ibanez, and I actually still have that guitar. Ibanez, great guitars. So they had that lemon drop, and I watched the thing for like a month, and then finally I had, right around 170 bucks put together, and said, okay, screw it, send it. And while you're at it, send a little decal, because I want that headstock look. And it says, yeah, literally custom Les Real. Yeah, got photos of that too. But it's still, and that was shipped to my door. I think it was 18 bucks in shipping, something like that. Nothing crazy, and it came unharmed. Went through the whole thing, checked the neck, make sure no backbone, that kind of thing. Didn't really have to drill any holes, nothing like that. Most of them were already there. So then, from there, I had a set of these GFS, crunchy pad, PAT style chrome top humbuckers, in decent shape. In fact, I think there's only a couple of scratches on them at all. And I rented about 14K in the bridge and 10K in the neck. But the nice thing about these, and I don't even know who's winding them, short of my normal Seymour Duncan thing, when I'm going budget, I'm going GFS every time. I've bought several pickups from them, never had a problem. And they always sound exactly as described. These are really good mid-rangey pickups. You'll find out later. We're gonna plug her in at the end here, get a little clean, a little dirty, just a little. But over time, these have been great. They're wax potted. They're noise free. I mean, like completely. I would stack them up against DiMarzios any day of the week. 50 bucks a set. is about the average on this actual one here. And they usually have them in stock. They don't really run out of those. The bridge got pulled out of an old Epiphone that was just gone. It was garbage. Too many breaks and cracks, and yeah, so we pulled the bridge off because it was a Tone Pros with the little, you know, like right there, the little locking Allen wrench hex screws. Brilliant, just genius when it comes to Tune-o-matic, because that's the biggest problem we have as players of this style of bridge, is you take that last string off and that back tail piece wants to just take a leap, or you bump one of the screws and now your action's all out. You know, with this you just set it in, throw in a little Allen wrench, and then everything's solidified. There's no slack there. There's no vibration there. I don't know if it adds as a sustain or not. I really wouldn't have a clue on that. But they're great bridges. But I saved myself, yeah, quite a chunk on that because I had that. The tuners, I actually bought the tuners. It was $65, $64.99. I think I don't even know who I got them from, but it was off of Reverb. And they're the occlusion style, as you can see, with the skinny post, with the lock in the back. It was a genius idea on them, because one of the main faults anybody that's ever had any kind of guitar similar to this, I don't care who made it, Epiphone, I don't care who made it, there's always a problem with those tuners. There's always too much slack. It's crazy that a design that's been around that long hasn't been improved upon until locking tuners came along. And these guys really got it right. Goto's one of my go-to people when it comes to tuners. So, you know, you're looking at about $65 there for those. No, I'm not, you know, that's not the average of all of them. If you're building a Strat, you're probably going to find a cheaper set. The harness I got lucky on. I had that. I can't remember where I got it, but I remember it's in all parts, and it's the old school braided ground. It's like the best harness you can get. It's basically the harness Gibson used for years until they got into the little chipboard thing that they've got now, where everything just kind of plugs in, you know. Slightly harder to modify, but not impossible. When I added all these up, I came up under $400, give or take 10, because if you really look for these Tone Pros sets, you're not going to spend $70. You're going to spend about 60. You'll find one used. Trust me. You just got to look. And if you're building something else, if you're building a Tele, there's, you know, 3 or 4 different variations of a standard Tele bridge for that big, you know, 3-screw single coil in the bridge there. You search around. You find what you think is not only affordable but worth every penny, because you're on a budget. That's why we think this way. So all in all, I'm way under that. I'm around more like 250, 255, because, like I said, most of this stuff I already had, you know, in a box over there or in a shelf over there. It wasn't that big of a deal. Now, the only thing that you're ever going to run into, and this comes with buying necks from people like Warmoth or All Parts. Mighty Mite's a good one. I've had a few Mighty Mite necks over the years, great necks. And set neck guitars, when you buy a set neck guitar like we did here, the frets are never finished. They're never finished. And a lot of times they're not level. And that was the case with this one. The leveling was not good past about the 13th fret. It started getting real janky. So when it comes to, you know, you want that action, you want that relief that you're looking for. You know, everybody's different. But when you're trying to dial it into your thought process of how action and intonation and all that works, bad frets are the freaking worst, because now you get your numbers all where you want them and it buzzes, and you're like, well, it shouldn't buzz. Well, that's because, you know, that just came in a cardboard box halfway across the nation, and they didn't, you know, for $70. We didn't have time to, crown and polish and, or even level. So, and I get that. That's fine. That's fine. I've leveled in the past. I'm kind of over it. But I have this guy, Pat, the kid. We call him the kid. And as you can see, he's very young. And his last name I won't do because one, it's just a privacy issue, and two, I do not envy it in his high school days. I'm sure there was a lot of women's anatomy humor attached to this poor man's last name. So enough with that. But anyway, I told the kid, yeah, there he is. I said, hey, I know you're really good at this spread thing, and he is. He's a freaking pro. I said, hey, can you do a level crown and polish on this LP I'm building, my Les Real? I'm building a Les Real. He says, yeah. So I had already got all the electronics together and actually got it set up, everything the way I wanted it. And I just basically told him, okay, just, do whatever it takes, level them out, crown them, polish them, however you want, take as long as you want. He says, okay, it's no problem. So I'm figuring, when the kid gets done, I'll shoot him a few bucks, I'm not going to insult the man. As you can see, what a job he did here. Just crazy. He's really, truly gifted, and he's fast. You can see a little bit of the before where those edges are all like gnarled up, and the afterward they're nice and round. Oh yeah, you just love that, because if a string pops off of there, you're not worried about it breaking on the way back, because those gnarled ones will do that. And we all know it. So he does this killer job. Oh, look, he taped it up. That was nice, taping it up. Smart. Don't hurt the wood. And then he went above and beyond, and he actually shaved the top of the nut down, which was something I was going to do later after I got it back from him and got the final setup. Then I was going to, shave off that top of that nut and get it, closer down to the strings. But he took it upon himself without hesitation, and he did it, and he did it right. He did a good job. So I get it back, and he says, no, there'll be no money involved here. I've got a PV Telecaster or something with a piezo in it, and I want to put these Seymour Duncans in, and I want you to do it. I want you to wire it up, because that's your thing. And I'm like, okay, that's my thing, yeah. I can do some light wiring for you. You special request? Oh yeah, I want the tone here, and the piezo here, and this switch this way, and then there's these switches on here, and there's a lot of switches. So I'm thinking, well, what's the worst that can go here? 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I can, replacing pickups. I could almost do blindfolded. I should do a video of that. I'll blindfold myself and replace a pickup. That's genius. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I can pull this off. This is not rocket science by any rate, and it's probably going to cost me about the same amount of time as the kid, this guy, taken with the neck. As fine a job as he did, I know this kid probably popped this out within an hour. He's that good, the kid. So I go meet him, and I pick up the guitar. It's in a gig bag, and I get it back here, and it's feeling a little loose. I'm thinking, well, geez, is it broke or something? No, it's completely tore down. Yeah, I got pictures of that. I had to take a picture of that because it was hilarious. I was figuring this thing would be set up the way he wanted it already, and I was just going to, gut the strings, throw in some pickups, and call it a day. No, he sent me basically a kit. This is like when you buy a kit, short of having to paint it. This is a kit that I'm gonna have to put together. It's crazy. When it was done, when I was done, I was completely satisfied with the job. I mean, what can I say? But this wasn't no 45-minute in and out. No, this was figuring out new ways of soldering Seymour Duncans that I've been soldering for 20 years and never seen this kind of thing before. And then on top of that, there's a piezo system in it. You got to be real careful with that. You don't want to break anything. They're delicate pieces of mechanical ingenuity set atop of a guitar. In fact, I think the piezo might be worth more than the guitar. Too funny. But you know what? The fret job was insane. That was the kid. So then once I get done with that, then I gotta like take it to my other bench. Now we're up to 2 benches now, and I gotta put it together, and then do a full setup, truss rod adjustment, cut the nut if it needs it, action, all that stuff, and set the pickup high. It's like 3 people's jobs I just did, where he did like 1. I thought it was hilarious. He got me on that. But that's okay. He knows he owes me. The kid. Anyway, I think what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna actually have it plugged in, and we're gonna take it off of standby over here, and that is, yeah, 3-piece back, 3-piece body. And you can see the cuts on the edge there. There's one there, one there. I'll try not to kill that thing with the headstock. It's pretty common around here, knocking that thing over. This is probably like take 8, because I've knocked that thing over like 5 or 6 times already. And we are good. Now, hopefully this microphone will pick this up decently. If not, I'm not reshooting, so this is what you're stuck with. That's my clean. That clean, and that's not, JC120 clean or Fender clean. That's my clean. Just a little gritty. Perfect. And it's not too heavy, probably close to 8 pounds here, and plays like a dream. I owe it all to that fret job, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to build a surprise kit. That was actually a lot of fun, just building another one from the ground up, basically. Thanks, the kid. Yeah, there it is right there. Sounds exactly the way I wanted it to sound. It sounds exactly like a couple of Les Pauls that I've played over the years, and didn't know it doesn't sound as good as this black one behind me, but that thing's a whole nother hot rod modification thing. But yeah, it's solid. It's got that solid, taking forever to. There'll always be one note hanging at the end. It's the way I wanted to build a lemon drop, so lucky me. And for less than $400 if you started from scratch. So, and like I said, these aren't the only ones that get built. You're on a budget and you know exactly what you want, start doing some searching. You might have to pick up a screwdriver or something, but whatever. Alright. Thanks for coming and checking out episode 2. Next, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do next, but it's not going to take as long as the gap between 1 and 2. That I will guarantee you. I've been thinking about picking up some of these pedals that are, you know, supposedly these world famous sounds, and actually putting them, you know, maybe through the Black Star, and seeing what the ear actually tells me. Um, Blow up a few myths about a few pedals. I think that might be a good calling for a little while. And I'll probably review a couple of guitars I own, and you know, always you know, not to look a gift horse in the mouth. If somebody wants to send me something, get a hold of me. You can contact me. It's pretty easy. And like I said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.